Primed and loaded. That is today's show. We've got running backs now that survived NFL free agency and remained on top of a depth chart. But are they the real deal? We got some questionable names here. Not all of them. One of them I actually really believe in, but the other four, I kind of question. Are they a true RB1? Are they primed for success? That's the big question because they're sitting right there. And I don't think anything else is going to happen. I don't think they're going to bring in another running back via draft. Maybe they will. I don't think any other free agents are going to come in now. They've kind of solidified their spot. They're primed for success. But the question is their talent, their ability, and their previous work. They haven't really proven they could be the RB1 to their full capability. Now, one of them I absolutely love. The other four, I got some question marks, so I'm going to dive into it, okay? 5 running backs that are primed at the top of the depth chart. The big question is, can they do it? We're going to dive in right now. Fantasy football is back. Let's get to it. All right, guys, welcome to the show. We are talking running backs here in the offseason. But hey, there is no offseason with the Fantasy Football Counselor podcast, the #1 podcast. Make sure you guys subscribe, smash it, tap it, slap it, whatever it is. Lion mentality, guys. Thumbs up here. I've also added a subscription package here on YouTube where you get special emojis and all that fun stuff, and you get to rank up in the fantasy football community here. I've linked it below. You guys can subscribe here to YouTube and get premium. I'm going to be doing a lot more live, so your questions are going to pop up, the emojis. I'll see ya. I'll know you're part of the Lion community. We just started up the Lionheart community, so I've linked that below here. And you can pre-order 16 rounds, guys. Use code SMASH to save. I've linked it below. Sleepers, breakouts, optimal players draft each round. Everything you need to crush it. Link that below. And of course, when you're checking out, make sure you grab a ticket to the summit. All the players, the NFL players that are coming to the summit, the virtual conference, August 21st, will be pretty much confirmed this week, early next. So more information to come on that. I'm excited, guys, for the summit, 16 rounds, and the season. Never any off season here with the #1 podcast. So subscribe, thumbs up, smash the bell. All right, let's dive into these 5 running backs. Now, these running backs are theoretically going to be the RB1. Everything's kind of fizzled out. There's a chance that these teams may draft a rookie running back, but I've looked at it and it looks like they've solidified it. They're primed. These guys are going to be the RB1. Are they the real deal? Let's dive into it. And again, make this interactive. Drop your comments below. Let me know, all right? First running back here is DeAndre Swift. Now, DeAndre Swift finished 20th last year amongst running backs, okay? This was the first season he really finished and did well. Now, he was on a good team, a better O-line, more protection, a little more preservation. You have a quarterback that ran, right? Now, DeAndre Swift heads on to the Bears who are going to have a rookie quarterback coming in. Again, DeAndre Swift, good numbers last year, okay? Decent numbers. That finished 20th, currently sitting as RB25. Good value, but the big question is, are you sold on him being the RB1? He shares the backfield with Khalil Herbert, Rashawn Johnson, so I don't see any reason why he doesn't become the RB1. And again, getting into his 5th season. So is he going to be the guy? That is the question. That is the uncertainty because I'm not sold on him being a true RB1. But looking at the depth chart, it looks like they're solid. They got to address the quarterback situation, maybe wide receiver position, other positions. It looks like by bringing Swift, that is the answer. But is it going to be the answer, him being a true RB1? That is something I question, and that is something I have a lot of uncertainty about and that I doubt. So let me know in the comments. DeAndre Swift, do you believe in him? Are you drafting him? Good RB25, so he's going to be great value when you look at it, right? He's not going to be coming off the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd round. You're going to get him for value. But I'm not sold heading into his 5th season that he is a true workhorse running back that's durable, that's going to survive with a rookie quarterback. Again, I'm not sold. But he is primed. He is primed. That's what the show is about. He is primed to succeed in a position where he's on top of the depth chart, okay? First guy, Swift. I have doubts, okay? Number 2 here, this one's an interesting one, is Rhamondre Stevenson, who's come out and said, I want to be a 3-down workhorse back. Is that going to happen? But he solidified his spot, let's put it this way, because they brought in Antonio Gibson, who is a viable backup, had his issues before, never really truly shined as the RB1. Zeke is going to probably be shipped off, right? He signed a 1 year as a free agent at the time of this recording. Now, Stevenson finished 35 last year. He did have an ankle. I want to know this. He did have an ankle sprain near the end of the season, put him on IR. He's heading in his 4th season. He was a 4th round pick. So the high draft capital from a team perspective wasn't really up there. Is there a chance that, the Patriots draft another running back? Very possible, similar to the Bears or any other team. They could do anything, right? But are they going to just invest high draft capital? They need a quarterback as well. So again, you're looking at a situation similar to Swift where it's like, okay, this guy solidified himself. He's primed, finished RB 35 last year because of that injury, sitting as RB 19. Is this guy going to take the load? And to answer it, I think it's more viable than DeAndre Swift. Now, with Belichick gone, you've got a new situation where they may decide they may work more with one running back, or are they going to still implement, the running back by committee, which was kind of pioneered by Uncle Bill Bully Belichick, which I dislike. So when I look at this, it's like, okay, Swift, Swift, I have question marks. Stevenson, I feel a little bit more warm and fuzzy. But again, we don't know. We really don't know. I'm going to guess here that Stevenson is going to be a solid RB3 on my fantasy team at best, maybe RB2, but very hard to trust based on a system that is always run by committees. But he's primed, top of the depth chart, right? Now, there's a lot of teams that are like the Dallas Cowboys. They're definitely going to be looking at a running back, right? The Chargers. We're going to talk about this tomorrow. I have another episode coming up tomorrow with Jim. It's like, are you a real running back one? For example, Zach Moss, guys like that. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. But these guys are set. They're primed. They're in there. They're not going to bring anybody else. But the big question comes to, are they going to deliver? And Stevenson very well could. He's hungry. He may do it, okay? Number 3, this guy delivered last year, finished 12th amongst running backs. The guy I'm talking about is James Cook. And it doesn't look like they're going to be touching any running back in the draft or bring somebody else in. Are the Buffalo Bills. They got Damian Harris there. They got Latavius Murray there. They got Ty Johnson. And this is a team that doesn't really need to run the ball as much. They don't need a true workhorse running back because you got Josh Allen and his weapons on the ground. So when I look at a guy like James Cook, he's primed, man. He's in a position where he can succeed. Sitting as RB13, direct copy and paste from last year. He was a 2nd-round pick by the Buffalo Bills. So you're looking at a guy that is a 2nd-round pick, high draft capital. They believe in him, had a good year last year, 237 attempts, 1,122 yards, 4.7 yards per carry, only 2 rushing touchdowns. That is the issue. So if you are looking at drafting a guy like James Cook on a team where the quarterback rushes in a lot of touchdowns, and you're going to get the same situation with the Eagles. I know a lot of people are excited about Saquon Barkley, but you got a guy like Hurts who ran the ball in 15 times last year, okay? So you're going to run into some issues around that goal line. But James Cook can only go up from his 2 touchdowns last year at the goal line. He had 4 receiving touchdowns. He is going to be the guy. I think he's good value. I think he's solid, but I really just try to avoid running backs where their quarterback runs a lot. This is going to be the issue with James Cook. It's going to be the issue with Saquon Barkley. It's going to be an issue with a bunch of other guys, including Derrick Henry, who's sharing the backfield with Lamar Jackson. So going to be very interesting. James Cook, I think he could do it. Got to get him for the right value, okay? He's prime, though, okay? Untouchable. These guys, I just don't see any other running backs coming in. Number 4, this is the guy that I like, okay? And I've got verbal confirmation he's going to be at the Fantasy Sports Summit. If you guys haven't got your tickets, I've linked it below. The 16-round link, you can grab it, package it with 16-round draft solution, or get the summit by itself. But number 4 is Kyren Williams. Here's why I love this guy, all right? Now, he was a round 5 pick heading into his 3rd season, right? So the thing that what I love about him is he finished 7th, and he only played 12 games last year. NFL free agency remains untouched. They've got Royce Freeman, Ronnie Rivers, a bunch of other guys there, but he's the guy. Now, I was talking to Jim Maverick here on the show. He likes somebody who's just like, oh, he's a little small. He'll get banged up. He might not be durable enough to last. That could be an issue because we haven't seen enough from him as a true workhorse, right? But last year, man, 12 games, 228 attempts, 1,144 yards, 12 touchdowns on the ground, 3 receiving. He's a goal line guy, especially with a quarterback like Stafford who won't run it in as much as Jalen Hurts. Kyren Williams is primed, man. There was an opportunity. There was a chance they draft another running back or bring someone else in, but it just seems like he's primed. That depth chart is solidified at the running back position. They got other needs to address, maybe on the defensive side of the ball, maybe some O-line, whatever they want to do. But I just feel maybe they bring someone in, but I think he's the guy, man. Again, he came out of free agency untouched, right? The talent is there. There's no denying the talent is there. The hunger is there. He could do everything on that field, and he did it in the 12 games he played. Look at the stats. Like I said, 12 games, still finished as a top 7 PPR running back, okay? 255 points. The ceiling is high. The sky's the limit. Finishing a full season. We got ourselves a league winner here with Kyren Williams. He's going to be expensive. You're going to have to spend an end of first round, mid to end of first round pick on him because he's going to be expensive. Now, I would love to draft, near the end of round 1. Imagine if Kyren Williams and Jahmyr Gibbs or RB1, RB2, that'd be great. You get that explosiveness upside kind of thing. But, I like him. I really do. Talent is there, and he's going to most likely be at the Sports Summit, just waiting for confirmation. All right. Kyren Williams, let's go. Big year, primed, and ready to go. Last one that's primed here has some question marks. Now, again, subscribe to the channel, thumbs up. Make sure you guys join the community here. There's a Patreon group for direct access. You got the subscription here on YouTube where you get, exclusive videos, you get emojis, you get to rank up. You can join right here, the Lion's Heart community or the Fantasy Frontlines. There's tons of stuff, but make sure you guys, if you don't do any of that, which I want you to do, join the community. Let's build this thing up. It's a lot of fun. Fantasy is your passion, right? Make sure you have the 16-round drafts, which I've linked it below. Use code SMASH to save, all right? All right, number 5 here, Javonte Williams. All right, Javonte Williams is a guy that's prime. Now, last year, finished 29th, sitting at RB26, copy and paste yet again. I think there's more ceiling this year, right? Quarterback, got to figure that situation out. But he's competing with Jaleel McLaughlin, who showed some flashes. He can be decent. And Samaj Perine. Now, someone says, Samaj AP Ryan. It's Samaj Perine. They definitely need a wide receiver. They got Mims, who's got some upside. They've got Sutton, who, is at the twilight part of his career. But Javonte needs to improve on his numbers. 3.6 yards per carry, 3 touchdowns on the ground. Only 3 touchdowns on the ground, Javonte. 217 attempts, 774 yards. Again, the 3.6 yards per carry, under 1,000 yards rushing. That's definitely going to come up, man. He played 16 games last year. 47 receptions for 2 touchdowns. All this has got to go up. That offense needs to kind of figure out what they're doing here. But on paper, he should still be the RB1. There shouldn't be any issue here. He's solidified. He's primed to go. Will he deliver? Let's put it this way. Finished 29th last year. That'll go up. How much it'll go up? 5-10 slots. Maybe he finishes 20th amongst running backs. Maybe he has a great year. They keep running the ball more. He gets more volume, gets more goal line work. He increases on his 3 touchdowns, which is very easy to do. And you got yourself a top 10 back. But the value is going to be there, that's for sure. And for value, depending how many running backs I have on my roster, I wouldn't mind him as an RB3. I just don't have the warm and fuzzies with him. I don't have that upside ceiling with him. I don't feel that with him. But he could be safe and solid. A great value guy who's an RB1. And all these guys are decent value as RB1s, minus Kyren Williams, who's ultra expensive. But, you got Stevenson sitting as RB4 as 19. You got Swift at RB25. James Cook, RB13, a little bit expensive there. And Javonte, RB26. These guys, again, are sitting at the top of their depth chart, primed to succeed. But because they are so low and because they're value, that's why you see all these question marks surrounding them based on previous lack of performance and other situations, uncertainty on their upside and ceiling. But when I look at them, if I can get them for the right value, depending on how many other running backs I have, I may consider putting one of these guys on my roster. Will I pay for Kyren Williams? Depends. Depends on where I am in the draft, where I'm drafting from, who I feel is coming around on that turn. Because I like to feel warm and fuzzy at running backs. I feel a little more warm and fuzzy with like a Breece Hall or a Bijan Robinson as my RB1 over Kyren. That being said, I don't want to discount Kyren's amazing performance in 12 games. He could outdo both of them, but probably unlikely. All right. So let me know what you guys think. Swift, Stevenson, James Cook, Kyren Williams, Javonte, all primed and ready to go. Do you believe in them? That is the big question. Drop it below. Make sure you guys smash that thumbs up and, of course, subscribe. Turn on the bell. Going to be doing lives throughout the season as we get into April and May. It's going to be a big season. All right, guys? Fantasy Football 2024 is back. Subscribe for the best advice in the industry and the #1 podcast. Appreciate you guys. I'm out.